Hey, what up everybody, this is Steven Breach coming to you here, making a little video. I don't know if I look like E.T. or if I'm trying to copy the AJ Styles look here for you, but my good buddy put up a video, click 30 style, above average. No, not Muda. Fuck me. Assault and Battery 777. I feel like starting this video over. One, I don't like the E.T. look, and another thing is I don't want to screw my best friend's name up, but we'll start over. Assault and Battery 777, click 30 style, coming at you. But basically, he made a video, which honestly I haven't watched, because I think if I watch his video, I'm going to want to maybe just copy and paste his name, because his video is, who is John Cena's opponent going to be at WrestleMania 30? And basically there's only a few guys I think that you can bring to the table against John Cena that people are really going to care about. I've already made one video hyping up The Undertaker versus John Cena. Why this match hasn't happened since 2003 is beyond me. Two of the biggest names in professional wrestling. If you built the Mount Rushmore of wrestling up here, up in the mountains up there, maybe you can do it in Stone Mountain in Atlanta, Georgia, or something like that, but you carve faces in there. John Cena and The Undertaker are honestly two names that are definitely going to be on the top of everyone's list to make sure that they get put up there for the future and the history of professional wrestling, to make sure everybody knows, you know, who is who and why we are at the point of where we are in the world right now. You know, so much can be brought to the table. You know, John Cena being one guy that's never even had a chance to take on the streak, let alone have a regular match against the dude to show off, you know, if he really is the best that the WWE has to offer these days. And The Undertaker, of course, will be bringing the streak, which is one of the biggest things in professional wrestling. I think that, honestly, the one thing that they really want to get done is the things that I'm hearing is that, you know, WWE wants to get the World Heavyweight Championship over again. It is a title that hasn't meant anything in a real long time, and they want to put the biggest people in these matches that are possible. In my opinion, Randy Orton has the WWE Championship right now, and WrestleMania is not, you know, that far out of the way. Of course, you have the Royal Rumble build, the Elimination Chamber match that somebody would have to get through in order to get to WrestleMania holding the title. But you know, Randy Orton is unlocked to be the WWE champion, and Randy Orton, you know, would possibly be in some sort of a mix to be in a championship match. You know, Orton hasn't had a big match at a WrestleMania since, you know, WrestleMania 25. Of course, he's been in matches where the breakup of Legacy. He's been with Kane. He's been with CM Punk. Some of the biggest names in WWE, but just some of the matches that just really haven't been featured to mean a damn. Honestly, Randy Orton is a guy that can be, you know, sort of boring and put me to sleep in matches, but I think that being against a guy like John Cena would bring something to the table that where it really is, you know, believable. If you want to bring the cartoon aspects and maybe the legendary moments of WrestleMania with the history of WrestleMania, with the WWE 13 video game and everything that's, you know, behind WrestleMania 30 and the 30 years it took us to get there. I know that WrestleMania, you know, 25 is a more monumental number than 30 is, but 30 is still bigger. And, you know, every year we get closer to, you know, getting to the higher numbers. The people that really got us to the table to the point where we are at today, you know, aren't going to be moving around. I mean, like, yeah, you can look at a WrestleMania like WrestleMania 7 with how cursed it is, you know, how many guys have, you know, fallen to the side of wrestlers that have died way too early in their life. But the biggest name of all time in professional wrestling, Hulk Hogan, is still around. He's still able to move around. And, you know, Hulk Hogan is a guy that doesn't have to go out there and, you know, have a huge match for it to be memorable. He knows how to use ring psychology. He knows how to, like, stare at his opponent, look up at the WrestleMania sign. You know, he knows how to Hulk up. And, you know, he knows how to work the crowd. And that's, you know, one of the reasons why Hulk is still going to be able to go out there. And what do you know? John Cena works the same damn schedule. John Cena isn't a guy that I think could go out there and wrestle Triple H. I think that's a match that just nobody really wants to see. I thought that match was going to happen after SummerSlam 2011, and I think that they keep those guys away. That's one guy in the ring that I don't want to see. One guy that I think does need to get his due respect is the one guy who has a win over John Cena, who hasn't lost a big match. Of course, you can look into the history of time, and these guys have had matches, and it hasn't come up. But, you know, it's hard to put a mid-Carter up against a main eventer and count it in his wins and losses. Daniel Bryan is a guy that can bring to the table, I beat you in our last match, and you're going to have to wrestle better than me to beat me in this match. I think Daniel Bryan versus John Cena is the biggest match that could push Daniel Bryan to the next, plateau in his career. If you want to make him truly a guy that, they used a whole lot of times when they talked about Daniel Bryan, the A-lister. You're not an A-lister. You need to be there. Daniel Bryan is trying to prove, he's finally ditched the gimmick where he's trying to prove that he's not the weakest link in Team WWE. And coming to the table and beating John Cena at a WrestleMania is something that not a lot of people have got to walk away saying they've done. I think that you've made the first step in making Daniel Bryan and pushing him to the top. Maybe you take him off Survivor Series, cooling him off a little bit to bring him back for the Royal Rumble push. He is my pick to win the Royal Rumble, but if he does win this and he does bring to the table of who he's going to face at WrestleMania, honestly I think you should look at John Cena versus Daniel Bryan. That's one way you really make the WWE World Heavyweight Championship mean something again to the WWE Universe, and I think that's what they really want to walk away from. So in my mind, John Cena versus Daniel Bryan is the match that is going to be at WrestleMania this year. Click 30.